Good morning, Alabama family, Alabama fans, AAA family. What's good? Welcome in, tap in, tap in. Little quick segment before. I just got back from the gym. I had to change shirts, man. I was so sweaty. Well, I just got back from working out, not the gym. I had to go and change shirts. Oh, had our morning prayer with the. Oh my God, everything look crooked. The stand is kind of crooked. That's why. Good morning, everybody. Roll Tide, Roll Tide. Good to see everybody. I don't know I'm a few minutes late, but just gonna get our little pre fall camp practice, pre fall practice conversation going. What's good, Jordan? Good to see everybody. Pre conversation today. We're going into day two of fall camp. We have media day this weekend. I'm thinking about making that trip up there this Saturday for media day. But today is day number two. Opening up camp practice about to start here in about 30 minutes, 45 minutes. About 45 minutes, you should see um, reports of practice beginning. There will be another media viewing period this morning, so you should see a lot of outlets putting their video coverage, their video clips out. Good morning, Urban S's. Good morning, Jordan. I was out for much longer than expected yesterday, so you good, man. It ended up, you see the numbers last night. We had a good turnout last night. Shout out to everybody that pulled up last night, came through, dropped comments, dropped likes, shared the stream, called in, all the callers, all that good stuff. We appreciate y'all for tapping in. Um, and then we had some people that actually shot us some donations at the end of the stream, man. We had two $5 direct donations to the Coach Smook Network Cash App, two $5 donations, anonymous. They want to remain anonymous. So I appreciate you for that. Every contribution matters. So if you all want to continue to support, think about joining and becoming a member of the channel, but also donating through PayPal, Cash App, Venmo. It helps out with us being able to move around and do what we got to do to provide you all the content and the coverage that you enjoy. Um, we got a lot of football kicking off, man. I got a lot of inbox DMs on my Twitter and my Instagram from a lot of high school kids. Fall camp kicking off for high schools, um, and preseason practices, all of that. So a lot of football just flooding the channel, flooding the network, and we're going to expand our bandwidth to be able to provide that, get that coverage for y'all, and provide that content for y'all. But going into the day two camp, I created a conversation earlier, and I'm gonna talk about it a lot today. Uh, the topic of conversation is going to be, of course, depth chart. QB1, offensive line, D line rotation, inside linebacker room. Who's the starters there? Who's the leaders emerging there? Wide receiver room. Who's the start? Who's the guy in the running back room that becomes the guy? All of those questions are cool, but um, let's kind of shift the conversation a little bit just for today. What's good? Roll Tide, big homie. Let's shift the conversation for today just for a few minutes. And like I said, these walk and talk segments, we're not walking today. I just got back from the gym. Um, but we are sitting outside. We letting Boss do his thing. Boss out there doing his thing. Y'all, I don't know if I could zoom in. I can zoom. Boss out there doing his thing. Y'all. Boss. Hey, boy. Hey, boy. Yeah. So now he's coming up here. Now y'all got to deal with his loud breathing. Move. Good morning, Cole. Good morning, Roll Tide. Good to see you this morning. But so conversation going into today, I want to talk about this. As you know, the first couple of days of practice is more so just kind of, golly, man, my t-shirts are shrinking, y'all. My t-shirts are shrinking. I'm sorry. ADHD kicking in real bad. This is a large, man. It's supposed to be a large. I need to check this. I might have grabbed somebody's t-shirt and washed it at the gym. I might have grabbed somebody's t-shirt. But, golly, man, don't it look small? This don't feel like no large, y'all. This is the same package of t-shirts I wore on A-Day. So y'all go look at the A-Day pictures and let me know if this shirt's shrinking or not. But conversation. We were bragging about how, the thing with the O line. Let's talk about the O line, right? And we're talking about the physical makeup of the team. Some of these guys made some physical changes, put on a lot of muscle mass. You had a lot of young guys come in and just totally transform their bodies. Nolan Wilson probably takes the cake with the amount of weight he's been able to put on since um, the time he committed to Alabama back in February. No, that wasn't in February. Back in December, up until now. Uh, I mean, just and when you think about it, December up until August, 8 months is a long time for these high school kids. Most of them are finishing high school football season, um, early December, late December. I don't know many high schools programs that are playing the state championships in January. So December from January until August, these kids get from January to July when they report for summer camp, off-season workouts. They get roughly 6 months to do some serious off-season work, and I can tell you for one, Nolan Wilson was one of the guys. Malik Franklin was one of the guys uh, that we said we wanted to see put some weight on. But it's some guys that was on the roster last season. Duke Johnson was the guy that we wanted to see could he continue to develop into a linebacker frame. Uh, Luke Metz filling out his frame. QB Reese, another one that's just filled out his frame. Justin Hill, another young guy that's developed. A lot of the young guys that we saw as freshmen, redshirt freshmen, now we're seeing that development. Even Ryan Williams in that wide receiver room, Rico Scott, um, they've even gotten the JUCO transfer Tyler Henderson in and gotten him to put on 10 pounds of lean mass. A very slender frame, speedy Jamison Williams, JMO type wide receiver is what we're expecting from him and his production. So I think just if we was to slow down and look at the biggest issue from last season with Alabama's production on the offensive side, we talk about the run game, right? Look at the makeup of that offensive line. You have Michael Carroll coming in at about 305 last year as a true freshman. I mean not Mal Walter. Wilkin Formby was, I think, 330 ish. Caden Proctor was 355, 360. Jaden Roberts was 325, 330, 315, 330, somewhere around there. Parker Brailsford was pretty light, 295, 300, barely touching 300. You had some guys that were rotating at guard. Cam Dewberry was 340, uh, 330, 340. Will Sanders coming into last season, was dropping weight, coming down 320. If you look at the season before that, the average weight across the Alabama offensive line, the average weight was 331. Last year it dropped down to like 324. This year, I think I put the number out there. It was like 312, 313, 313 pounds. I don't think you necessarily have to be the heavier body to be able to be impactful in blocking. Case in point, Nebraska's offensive line, they tend to always average out as far as the uh, top 10, top 5, top 10 uh, offensive line. Their offensive lines tend to be one of the heaviest in college football, and that's just traditionally. They've done that for years now. Iowa State. Uh, and as of late, you've seen teams like Michigan, Ohio State, Penn State, Utah, Texas Tech when they did it last year. You've seen them kind of the same makeup and kind of build of offensive line, and the style of running that these teams use. They share a similar factor, and their offensive lines, their trenches are built similar with just height and weight. You know, you look at the offensive line right now at Alabama. I don't think you have an offensive lineman that's on scholarship that's been recruited by the staff. I don't think you have one that's shorter than 6'4". I don't think you have one offensive lineman that's shorter than 6'4", like truly shorter than 6'4". Delgado might be 6'3", Waldrop 6'5", but they're all like 6'4". That's 6'3" and a half, 6'4". I mean, tall guys that you want, big body, long frame, big body guys, long limbs, thick frames, with big lower bodies, big lower sections, lower parts, and and that's what you want to see. That's what you want to see when you start building offensive lines. You don't want to see those big girthy guys that can barely move. A lot of the clips that we were looking at from yesterday, from yesterday's opening practice, the offensive line during warm-ups, you see them doing more agility drills and doing things like impact drills, right? Impact drills. Big homie comes in and says he can say gotta finish blocks. I think we're going to have a better chance of doing that because guys are able to get out in space and get a hat on a hat. For me, I don't think the game of running the run game, right? What's up, Mask Up Daytona? Appreciate you for tapping in. Make sure y'all like the stream. We're going to be getting live on TikTok today, too, in between now and our post-practice report at 11:30. 11:30 noon, we're going to do that today. But um, I want y'all to look at even Auburn's offensive line. Auburn didn't have a huge offensive line, but under the coach they just fired, it wasn't Malzahn. I want to keep calling that man Gus Malzahn. Uh, Hugh Freeze. Under Hugh Freeze, we know Hugh Freeze can design, can scheme up the run game. That offensive line, they average, and they didn't have high quality guys. They average, as a team, I think they average, 5.3 yards per carry, with the majority production backs, meaning guys that had more than that carried more than 5% of carries last year. You know, averaging right at 5 yards per carry. Same thing at Indiana, 4.3 yards per carry, 4.6. When you can average anywhere from 4.3 to 4.8 yards per carry, in your running your rushing department, rushing production, I think you put yourself in a real good position to be successful as a whole team, not just for passing game, but you affect the defense when you can run the ball because you can control the tempo, and then being able to continuously play after play, lean on the other team and produce in that, right? That's what creates the difference. So you had to get the right type of bodies and the right type of frames out on the field. Let's talk about the offensive line. Strength and conditioning is the topic, right? The weight gain, the weight losses, all of that. We're kind of talking about that going into. I want y'all to start seeing how that plays in some of the development of some of these guys because, like Sanders from last year, like Danny Lewis, the past, Danny Lewis is in his fifth season. I think this is his red shirt senior year. So Danny Lewis came in as a heavy guy, and this staff has been trying to get him under that 260, that 265 for a while now. And he checks in this season at 255, 250. He's the healthiest he's been. You kind of heard him being highlighted as a guy that was given early opportunities. This is kind of his make it or break it opportunity. While Marshall Pritchett works back from some offseason, recovery things. You got a young Max Sutter in that room that's got to develop. Jack San Marco is a guy that's waiting to emerge. Jay Lindsey is a veteran presence that doesn't have the same skill sets as you do, but he stays healthy and he's physical and he's disciplined. Like you gotta think, like, if there wasn't anything left for these players to do on this roster, it was to make sure that their bodies were ready. The playbook thing should be coming along, right? You got enough veteran presence under this staff, under both schemes, both offense and defense. You got enough guys that have been here for more than a day that things should already be kind of clicking. So to hear that practice ran smooth yesterday shouldn't be a surprise. It's how smooth, how it looks when it's running smooth for me. And that you got to look at the offensive line. I look at Ty Haywood has come to Alabama and put on like 15 pounds of mass, lean mass. Strayhorn has cut down some of that baby fat. Lloyd Jackson looks like a grown man. That baby fat, he looks like a grown man now. They're starting to develop these bodies. Boss, get over here. And so I look at it and I'm like, man, Alabama, the mentality, you can force players to get in the weight room and do things, but what they do on their own time is going to show up, right? They only get a certain 2 hours, 2.5 hours out the day, 5 days a week, being supervised in the weight room, right? That's only 10 hours out the week. 10 hours out the week. The rest of them hours, the rest of them, what's that? What's 240 times 5, y'all? I'm sorry. 1,200 hours. You got 1,200 hours in a work week, right? Um, is it 1,200? Yeah, 1,200. It should be 12. You got 1,200 hours in the work week, right? And they only taking 10 and a half, making it mandatory that you're in the weight room. What you do with them other something hours, gotta put in. Gotta put in. Is it 1,200, y'all? My math might be off. Good morning, Jason. Good to see you. It's 1,200, bet. So with them other 1,150 hours, man, between living life and doing what you got to do, what you do with your body matters, and it's showing up for these guys. The off season, they clock some quality development hours. You can tell, and not. I don't think Alabama's the only team doing it. I'm not sitting here talking as if Alabama's the only team that did that. I'm just saying what we can see compared to last year, coming into this season. I definitely see a difference. Ryan Williams to me, and shout out to Tate Dumas for the jamming gift. Appreciate you, my guy. Appreciate you. But shout out to Ryan Williams in that wide receiver room. You all know I've been very critical of that young man, but they to me, just by the looks, and y'all know I've seen them. I saw them at the spring, had a couple of interactions over the summer. Can't wait to get back on campus next week. For sure, next week we might be up there earlier than next week, but can't wait to get on campus to get a in-person look to see how everybody's looking, because everybody looks beefy, man. Everybody looks real, like they went on and put some good mass on. And we know as the season progresses, you're naturally going to lose some of your muscle mass due to wear and tear. You're sweating every day. Your body's your output, your calorie output is a lot higher, and it takes a lot more to maintain. But to see these guys healthy and refreshed like they are, we got to commend the strength and conditioning program. But the offensive line average weight down a whopping 30 pounds since Kalen DeBoer and his staff's arrival. Um, but the D line also got smaller, right? In a sense, not necessarily smaller, but more lean. Uh, you had guys, and this is no slight. You had James Smith on the D line last year. Big body. Jaheim Otis was a big body that's been here, had to go. We had some massive dudes leave in the portal over the past few years off the D line, right? Leaving the portal, or they've transitioned out to the NFL, however it may seem. But for the most part, this staff, Freddie Roach, the type of D lineman that he recruited, this staff has had confidence in his ability to get these guys. Now, one thing that we've seen with Freddie Roach, we haven't seen a 6'1", 6'2" defensive tackle. Hey, Bird, you gotta go. I don't need all that noise right here. We live right now, bro. Thank you. But must be an Auburn fan. But anyways, what I was talking about? Oh yeah, you talking about the presence of recruiting that Freddie Roach has brought across the D line. A lot of those athletes you saw. I believe that's why they held on to Keon Keeley for so long, trying to allow him not only to just develop his body, but to just to being a true three technique. You know what I'm saying? Four technique type DN. Defensive lineman. And I don't know where this idea of Alabama got worse once these last group of Porter players. But I look at Devin Tompkins, man, and Terrence Green. Uh, those two guys are the big ass. Keldrick Jones, 6 years, still hasn't popped in the SEC. Ja Latham. It's a lot of veteran guys on the D line, but you look at how they're built, you have to wonder what are they missing? What are they missing? And for Alabama to go and stack as many guys as they did, 6'3" to 6'5", 275, 280 for the young guys. You got a lot of young defensive ends and D linemen right at that 285 range. But you look at the veteran guys that have had time to really develop in the collegiate ranks, 285, 290, 295, 300. Nobody's pushing 315 for real anymore in that D line room. Steve Bowler at 315. I mean, he's cut down since his arrival. Boss, sit down. I don't know why he be trying to act. But anyways, so you look at the change in the anatomy of the D line, man. I think we sitting right there, right amongst the ranks of and the builds of the national championship contenders. Georgia, I don't know if y'all paid attention to Georgia. Georgia don't have a whole bunch of hog mogs sitting in the middle of their defense no more. You don't see a bunch of bellies hanging over pants no more on Georgia's defense. And if they are, they 6'6" plus. You know what I'm saying? And they're mammoths that are specimens that can move. I don't see that. I don't see that being a everyday thing. So you're not going to see a lot of it. But Alabama has the presence of Jeremiah Beeman finally healthy. London Simmons is back. He had a crazy freshman campaign, crazy freshman campaign. Uh, Asaya Faga and Steve Bowler, I feel like, and Edric Hill are going to be like quality rotational guys that give you quality rotational reps. You should never. Our D line should never be tired with the amount of quality rotational guys. I don't think you have starter pop with guys like Edric Hill right now. You know, I think he's just a solid rotational player, a person that creates value when he's able to evaluate. And this is just what he's done during his time at Alabama. He has yet to start a game, but every time he's been implementing the game, you very rarely see 94 out of position. A lot of times you see 94 demanding double teams. You see 94 having to get chipped by tight ends and running backs. You see him being double teamed by guards and tackles. So I like being able to have that with similar presence. And think about it. It wasn't projected for Edric Hill to play like he did last year because Jeremiah Beeman was in front of him, right? And Tim Keenan. But when both of those guys went down with injuries, London Simmons, Edric Hill, Jordan Renard, all those guys, their numbers got called. And you saw Edric Hill outperform Renard. You saw him I forget who the other interior guy was that left, but he really performed. So Edric Hill, Asai Faga was another great addition, 88 right there on the interior of the defense. And now the staff is really confident about Steve Bowler. I don't know if y'all remember when we signed him in that 25 class, I believe, and he went to play his JUCO, his season at JUCO, get those credits caught up, get the language thing going, or whatever the grades situation going, um, eligibility, whatever he had to do. Now he's back, and he's had another year to develop at Bama, getting the technique things down because he's a natural talent. The young man's only been playing football for like 5-6 years now. So um, he's going to have an opportunity to get some chances. I think once the lights are on for him, guys like him, um, across that D line, they're going to show up and showcase why they bring value. And all they have to do when you're not the starter, when you're not playing, 55, 60% of snaps, right? Your job is to just go out there and be relentless in effort. It's not to make highlight plays. It's not to try to conserve energy to because you're about to be in a situational play call. No, as those spot rotational guys like the D line has, just watch how fresh they are because of the relentless efforts you're going to see. And so when you look at just the overall strength and conditioning of the Alabama football program, slimming down in the trenches, I think is going to fare well for us. I think it's going to fare very well for us. Movement on the offensive line, getting out of space. You want to get pin and pull. I don't think that's going to be a huge commodity for Alabama going forward with Adrian Clem and knowing his history with run zone, run game scheming. I don't think the pin and pull is going to be a huge thing. Now, we know that the boy Grub, they've been known for keying that up. I do think there will be situations for that, right, against teams that don't defend the perimeter, or have struggled with counter looks or jet looks, anything out into the boundary. I think they'll be able to use some of that pin and pull run scheme. But I think right now, traditionally, they want guys that can move and win their matchups, that can get upfield and win their matchups, that can get out in space and win their matchups, that can chip, turn, flip the hips, be disciplined, carry out actions, and finish blocks. Like my boy Big Homie said, my brother Big Homie said, we got to finish blocks this season. AK there don't want no parts of Steve. Facts, mask up. Fast. Hey, I tell you what, and um, it's funny that you said AK said that. What it do, Sam? Good to see you, Roll Tide. It's funny that you said that. Now, I don't know how long y'all been watching me, but um, uh, I don't know if how long y'all been following me. But AK, y'all know that's one of the personal relationships that we have. Um, that's one of the young men that we pray with. We call and check in on him, Sedarian Luke, Abdul Sanders, Dijon, um, Edric is one of those guys. Mike, Big Mike, is another one of those guys. These are guys that we have personal relationships with. We don't just cover these guys. We check in with these young men. Have been following them for years now. We're tight with their families, all that good stuff. And so AK was one. During the summer, I got to have a conversation with him, and he's very excited about his opportunities this year. He's confident, to me, based off what he's saying. And I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm sitting here talking depth chart moves and stuff with these players. Never that. But you can get a sense of how they feel about their trajectory and what's surrounding them by just having natural conversation. And when I talk with guys like AK or Zay or Kev, right, and I get the little nuggets of how they're doing, you get a sense of what's happening in that room. And when you talk to AK about the running back room, um, he's a competitor. He's never been shy about his skill set, but he's excited about having EJ on campus. That was a big thing. He said even during his recruitment, during coming to Bama, that was a thing of to be linked up with EJ in the future, and them have the potential of being the next big tandem duo of running backs, big running back groups. So, and you got Kevin Riley and Daniel Hill both coming into their junior years. I don't think they need to be RB1s to have a successful season or to continue to build their prospective profiles. You look in the NFL right now, the running back position is so scattered, right? You have a different one emerging every year because of I guess you could say, the durability of the position. And I don't think people realize the teams that are having success, like long success in the run game, they usually have two guys that are bell cows, and then you have a third guy that's the game changer for you. And if you look at the personnel, if you look at the personnel in Alabama's running back room, let's just throw three guys out there, and I feel like you're comfortable. You can have a bell cow in Daniel Hill, and uh, you can have bell cow carries out of Daniel Hill and AK, and let EJ be your game changing, speed changing back. Or skill set wise, if you're trying to get a steady dose of similar running styles, AK and EJ are your guys, right? And then if you want change of speed, Daniel Hill, because he brings you balance. But if you're talking about scat sets, three guys, you got a situation where you're trying to get the perimeter, get to the perimeter, get lateral, get counter actions going. I think you can go with AK, Trey, and Kev, right? Trayshawn Brown, the true freshman running back, and then just all of these guys can catch out the backfield. So when it comes to it, once you get everybody looking the same way, right? You're confident. You're confident. It's just those wild plays that they're able to make. But talking with AK, he feels like this is going to be a breakout year for the run game. Um, it's no secret that the run game struggled last season. Uh, but I do believe, and this may just be my interpretation or my takeaways from the conversation. I do believe Ryan Grubb and this staff will have will force run early in the season. I think they will force run in some situations to try and get some of these guys to try and get some of these things worked out, because last year relying on the quarterback's arm or relying on the quarterback to create and adjust on his own when the running game is not working is impossible to find yourself in favorable situations like that. It's just impossible, y'all. You won't ever get anywhere without a run game. So this running back room has a lot to prove this season, and they're going to have some opportunities to prove it. Let me jump in the comments before I get out of here, man, real quick. I appreciate y'all for the likes. We got 17 people in the chat right now. 27 people in the chat. I'm sorry. We got 27. Continue running likes up. We hit our like goal yesterday during the live stream last night. Let's try to hit another 20 like goal here on the stream today. Just continue running likes up. Share the stream. We're going to stay here for another 15 minutes. Any questions, any topics, any comments you want in the chat, type them in the chat, and I'll respond. This is our interactive 15-minute segment, interactive segment we're going to do real quick. Lottie gained weight too, yeah, but you could tell. You looked at Lashare Brooks coming on the campus last year. I think he came on campus at like 170 and played at 180 last year. You know, at 175, 180. He has the short, stocky speedster frame that you want at that position now. It's not necessarily like a Waddle or a Debo, but who would Lashare Brooks build kind of remind me? His build kind of reminds me of what's the young man's name? He's not that tall, but he plays big, man. Evan Stewart. I know we didn't see Evan Stewart last year due to injury, but Evan Stewart, y'all know who he was, man. We was truly after. If you go watch Evan Stewart's film, Lashare Brooks is kind of like our pickup for not being able to get Evan Stewart out the portal. Lashare Brooks is our replacement for him. Let them sleep on us so we can shut them haters and talking heads up. Oh yeah, y'all wanna talk about that real quick? I know we talking fall camp ball in that, but I see the numbers keep jumping up too, man. Make sure y'all hit the like button as y'all come in. That preseason polls, I think Alabama's at number 11. I think Alabama's at 11 behind two teams that we beat to end the season. Indiana, and this is the coaches poll. I think the coaches poll had us at 11. Indiana was at 6. Oklahoma was at 10. They had Ole Miss in front of us, Georgia. Penn State. It had a few teams in front of Alabama that I was like, what in the world are they talking about? 11th, yeah, in the coaches poll. Yeah, they crazy. But I like it. And I love Coach DeBoer's response yesterday during the interview, the presser. Are we aware of it? Oh yeah, we're very much aware of it. I think you gotta stop playing like this stuff don't matter, man. These kids on social media every day. On social media every day. That stuff do matter. For all the old heads that say they gotta block out the noise, don't block out the noise. Be aware of the noise. Acknowledge the noise. Just don't let it distract you. Right? Don't let it distract you. You don't have to block stuff out to keep from being distracted. That tree is right there. I don't have to have that tree removed out of the ground and out my way for me to avoid running into that tree. I could be aware of that tree being right there and be focused on wherever I'm going, walking wherever I'm going, and not lose track of where I'm going, knowing that that tree is right there. Also, turning around tomorrow knowing that that tree, there's a high probability that that tree is going to be there. So guess what? I'm going to build on what I learned yesterday when moving around that tree. I'm just going to avoid that tree knowing that it's there. That's how the mentality has to be for this Bama team, man. And for me, the commitment to changing their bodies, right? Committing to changing their bodies, getting the physical things down, getting in the weight room. All of those things matter in their growth. All of those things matter in the growth and the development of this team and coming together and putting it all on the field. But I do think that all the noise that they're hearing, everything is gonna put this team in the right spot. And I wouldn't mind seeing a little cockiness from this team this season. I feel like they've proven that they dedicated to it. I would love to see a little swag where it's a aggression and intimidation, right? Nobody deserves to be on the field with us because we work. We worked harder. We deserve this. We work for this. You know. So with that being said, I appreciate y'all for hanging out with your boy this morning. We got post practice report. Practice is about to kick off here in about 5 minutes, y'all. They actually out there stretching right now. I already got my last text message of, hey, headed out, check in later. All those good text messages while I was live here. So if y'all saw any lags or glitches, or y'all kept seeing me like looking at the screen off weird, we already talking. It's day 2. We didn't get a lot of phone buzzes yesterday because it's day 1. All the stuff is out there. Day 2, day 3, day 4, that's when it's gonna pick up and the coverage it won't slow down. I got y'all, man. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Make sure you continue to share the channel content. Go check out our VODs. We got some shorts being edited right now. We're gonna actually post a few short form video VOD cuts to post on the channel from yesterday's segments. And throughout this season, man, y'all just continue to support and continue to help us grow. I know y'all see a lot of different Alabama content creators trying to replicate what we were doing for the past 2 years. Let them enjoy that phase of it. They think they're doing something new. We actually owned something this year. And the reason why we haven't, I ain't gonna say wasted a lot of time on camera, the reason why we haven't done a lot of collabs and things with everybody that's all of a sudden a Alabama reporter or team coverage is because we have eyes on us for real. We have eyes on us, not just padded numbers from TikTok followers and a viral video from us being fans. We've actually talked to people in the industry, and we are going through a process of evaluation, and we're steadily growing on this professional growth path that I think is changing the look of how this is supposed to look in college when it comes to covering sports in general. A lot of people don't have the confidence to be as transparent as we are with our growth. And I'm not scared of people picking up on, small things that we figure out and codes that we crack to gain algorithm and stuff. It used to offend me, right? Because you have people come around and hang around, like Brody Smoot used to come around and hang around and try to take what he was learning from me and jumped out there. And it kind of caused his channel and stuff to crash. Still trying to lurk and hold on through Twitter interactions. But when you don't have a passion for this, or you don't want to put in the right work, you don't have the passion to put in work to earn anything, you won't last. And I put a lot of passion and work into what I try to provide as far as coverage for the Alabama fan base. I put a lot of passion behind supporting all the recruits that we make relationships with, whether they go to Alabama or whatever. I put a lot of passion in being there for their families and conversations and educating them about recruiting, landscape, NIL, college football, crash courses, and I appreciate all the support that we get back. So when you all like the stream, when you share the stream, when you're out and you're talking to a Bama fan and you say, man, you should check out Coach Smook, that's helping us grow. That to me, that pays just as much as an actual dollar. So don't take it for granted when I thank you for sharing the stream, for liking the stream, for subscribing to the channel. Don't take it for granted. Don't think I'm just saying it because it's cliche. I really mean it. I truly mean it. It means a lot to me and how I can continue to grow as a young man, as a father, as a husband. All these things that I have aspirations to do. You guys showing up every day to the live streams, every live stream. You guys showing up in the comments on the shorts. You guys showing up on the VODs. That's what's helping your boy continue to grow. And you don't have to reach in your pockets for nothing. And when you do reach in your pockets, it's because you want to. And if God is using me to compel you to do that, man, all glory to him. I'm grateful. I thank you all for y'all support. Again, I'm your favorite Alabama insider and sports media personality, Coach Smook. And remember, when you see me in the streets, holler at me and say, put me in the game, Coach Smook. Roll Tide. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Post-practice report, y'all. We'll be live at noon. Talking post-practice. All the conversations coming from Alabama's fall camp day number 2. Appreciate y'all.